Ladies and gentlemen, I have some fantastic news. What is that news per se? Well, let's just say that I am on my way to publishing another book. More specifically, 3 books. Today I officially finished the first draft of the Seraphim Trilogy books. Seraphim Awakening, Seraphim Bloodlines, and Seraphim Requiem. This is Kat, the Crawling Author here at the Magic Library, and here's what you can expect from the Seraphim Trilogy, the sequel trilogy to my debut novel, Arboriah Lux. Alright, so let's get started. If you guys have not read my book yet, you can go to Amazon or to any store that sells books, to their online store that sells books, and you can look up Arboriah Lux by Kathleen Lyons. This is what the book looks like in a mirrored view, but still. Arboriah Lux is a paranormal dark fantasy with a little bit of romance, a little bit of mystery, a villain wanting to overthrow the ruling monarchy for revenge, and the main character who must go on a journey not only of self-discovery, but also to find out just what the heck is going on. If that sounds like a story you're interested in, you can go down to the description below, go to my Amazon link, and you can buy a copy of it there. And if you already have a copy and you've read it, please go down to the Amazon link to leave a review if you've bought it from there, or go to Goodreads to talk about the book. I would really appreciate it if you do, because it helps to get the book out there. And for anyone who loves dark fantasy of any kind, I think you might actually enjoy this. So with that shameless plug out of the way, let's talk about Seraphim and this trilogy of books that has taken me a little over a year to actually complete the first draft of. Seraphim Trilogy. The Seraphim Trilogy is a little bit out of my comfort zone because it takes place in a more modern day setting. I'm not very good at modern day settings at all. I wasn't good at them in art. I'm not particularly good at them in writing form either, because it's like, how in the world are you supposed to describe a car when you know nothing about cars? How are you supposed to translate the image from your brain to that? So I had to do a lot of research. One little bit of research actually has to deal with me, my boyfriend, and my boyfriend's mom going to a motorcycle race. And I ended up able to do some research about how motorcycles move and everything, and the balance capabilities of that. So thank you, Miss Ida, and thank you, Michael, for taking me on that trip last year. So the Seraphim Trilogy takes place generations after the events of Arboriah Lux. Like I said, in a more modern setting. So if it's supposed to be a sort of medieval Victorian era age in Arboriah Lux, and this is a more modern setting, think about a good maybe 5-6 generations, depending on how well you want to do that timeline. But we do get a lot of new races, particularly in this. I introduced werewolves, or technically wolf shifters, into this. The ability that you see in Arboriah Lux has sort of a misconception in this world as well, in this verse of the world as well. And let's just say that this goes from mystery to just all-out urban fantasy war in a very much just like capacity. In my first book, I talked a lot about the equality of castes and the equality of the class system, and between where the amount of blood you have that's vampire dictates basically where you are in society. It was very heavily inspired and influenced by my research of the class system of Victorian England. So that for sure I had to put in there. In Seraphim, for example, I actually attributed it more to, I still added in a little bit of racism and everything, because that's gonna be around the world no matter what, unfortunately. But it talks a little bit about it talks about the striving for equality between all of these different races, these new races that have come up with sort of like genetic evolution. And it was intriguing to write about that from someone who is of a unfortunate majority. And I had to be very careful with how I wrote it. Because I knew for a fact that if I asked a beta reader to read through the entire thing, I didn't want them to get offended. So if anybody is interested in being a beta reader for this, let me get through the first book in ways of rewriting, and then I will send out chapters. And I'll do that. And the thing about it is that this also sort of plays on how people are brought up and the beliefs that we sort of inherit from our parents and everything, specifically from our surroundings. Because we see a little bit of one of the main character, Zyla's point of view, we see it from Phoenix's point of view, we see it from a lot of people's. But Phoenix and Zyla are our main characters. Zyla is the former leader of a street gang that actually strives for equality. Basically a Robin Hood-esque group that does a lot of protests for equality for different members of society and stuff like that. She sort of inherits that charisma from her adopted brother, because she takes on that goal for her adopted brother after he passes. Then you see Phoenix. Phoenix is our wolf shifter who's a little unsure of where he is in the world. He doesn't know exactly what he wants to do. He's sort of on the run from his destiny and on the road from his past, but at the same time he's sort of just like barreling towards it without even realizing. So that's our two main characters and everything. You get some supporting characters as well. There is Jay Hazel. He is a vampire and Phoenix's partner within Cathedral. A little bit of side note, Cathedral is not the big church building. Of course, the building that is sort of the headquarters for this organization does look like a church, but it is not necessarily a church in and of itself. Of course, you do see a lot of the obvious, just unfortunate racial stereotypes in there, but that's besides the point. Cathedral Contra Malum is the official name of the organization, and it is basically an organization that was set up by the council that Asilas and Luxalia are a part of at the end of Arboriah Lux. Spoiler! And they basically created the organization so as to keep peace and to make sure everybody was safe and everybody got along. Of course, much like the difference between the first executive branch of the United States to now, you see that everything has become lopsided and is just wrong. So yeah, as time has passed, you can see that the city has sort of gone back to its, dare I say, roots of racism, because Phoenix is a wolf shifter, and wolf shifters are not really seen in high esteem because wolves usually keep to themselves. They have this entire community on the outskirts of the city, and they just keep to themselves. They want nothing to do with the outside. They want nothing to do with the city. The reason that Phoenix leaves and everything is sort of personal. You'll get to that in the book. But Jay Hazel, when Phoenix comes to Cathedral and he is bumped up to being what is called a tracker, Jay sort of like takes him under his wing and sort of sort of like protects him from all of like the harrowing and hazing that these agents of Cathedral like to do towards the newbies. So yeah, there's that. Another character that I particularly like, her name is Lexix, but everybody calls her Lexi. She is a wolf shifter who has known Phoenix from a very early age. They were childhood friends, and unfortunately is the anime nexum of Joshua Bright, Phoenix Bright's younger brother, who has basically taken up the mantle of Pack Alpha while Phoenix just sort of ran away from his responsibilities. So there's that. And of course you get a lot of other characters too. You get Oliver Graves, who is sort of a mentor for Phoenix when he first showed up. You get a lot of enemies. For example, Brian, who is the younger brother of the man who took Zyla in after the orphanage fire, and was subsequently separated from her twin sister. And there's a lot of like conspiracy, intrigue, and mystery in this story. And for anyone who likes books like Cassandra Clare's Mortal Instrument series, I think you may actually like this. Like I said, this takes place in a more modern setting, so expect a lot of like vivid colors in your imagination. Specifically because that's just how I wrote it and everything. The city has gone from a city of like completely stone and varying shades of gray to dark, of white to gray to dark gray, and now it's full of glass. It's full of glass and light. There are some callbacks to Arboriah Lux. There is the God's Tree. The God's Tree makes a comeback, everybody! Yay! You get some name drops in there too. You get Lux, and specifically her true name. You get a Silas. There is a lot of references to like the Passor family. The Passor family clinic has become a hospital. Morgenstern Place is sort of like a train station / meetup for people all over the city. Stuff like that. There's a lot of little Easter eggs in there, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. I can't tell you much about the story itself. I don't even have a passage that I feel comfortable reading to you, but I can leave you with the prophecy that sort of kickstarts the entire story. Yes, it's a prophecy, deal with it, I had to have something. And when I was working on this, I was still like deep into the lore of Arboriah Lux when I was still writing the book, so yeah. And the prophecy is this. When the tear of Cassius eclipsed the full moon of the solstice, mirrors of one another will fight for the other's single wing, consuming the other. A new age will rise from the ruins of the old, so shall come the Seraphim. I had to go through many iterations of this, and actually there are like several different moments within the story where there's different versions of the prophecy and everything, and I hated that because it's like I couldn't pinpoint where in the story I had said it the first time and everything, so I had to actually go back, take it like a post-it note and everything, and like write it down, and then like slap it at the edge of the first edge of the book, because it was just like oh my god, it was intriguing. It was not really intriguing. It was intense, very, very intense. But that is a sort of in-depth teaser to the Seraphim Trilogy, and I'm so excited because this is a trilogy of books that I knew would be coming, and I knew that I wanted to go into the future to a more modern day setting and look at the descendants of all of our main cast from Arboriah Lux. And if you have actually seen the trailer for the Seraphim Trilogy books, you can actually go to the shorts and find it and everything. It was really fun to actually to make that, because I did it for TikTok first, and then I did it for here, and it actually got a lot more views on here than I did on TikTok, oddly enough. But I'm looking forward to it and everything. It's going to be interesting to see how many people are so interested in this story and how many people are going to be. It's going to be intriguing. It's going to be intriguing. It's like, ah. But that aside, that is all I have for this video today. This video is coming a little late during the day. I was up all night until 2 o'clock writing and also watching True Blood with my mom because she decided to rewatch the entire series. And of course, I'm sort of loving it / hating it because it's like, I don't like the southern stereotypes, but at the same time, it's like, it's got vampires, it's got werewolves, it's got fairies in it. It's me. So I will probably be watching that while I tackle some other projects. Probably the Mortality Companion and maybe Cafe Pantheon. Whew, I sneezed. I sneezed off camera. Preferably, but yeah. But anyway, True Blood is sort of the same wheelhouse as the Mortality Companion and Cafe Pantheon, so that's going to be interesting to do, I think. But yeah. If you guys like this video and you guys want to keep up with more updates that I will be having for my writing projects and everything, specifically the Seraphim Trilogy, please just subscribe, like the video, and also ring the bell for more notifications. Please, just to keep track, please. Please help me reach my goal of 100 subscribers before the end of the year. Primarily because I am sort of just winging life at the moment, but it is intriguing because it's like this little goal is just, it's a small goal, but it'll help me to see where I can go in the future going forward. And it's going to be a very interesting few weeks and few months. If you guys want to support the channel besides liking, subscribing, commenting, you know, all that stuff that YouTubers yell at you to do at the end of videos like this, please go down to my Ko-Fi account and leave me a tip if you liked the video. Ko-Fi is a website that allows you to give tips either at a one-time basis or monthly. Sort of not as severe as Patreon, but you know, it's just yeah. I do have a goal on Patreon. I am getting to, I can't remember it specifically, but I have a money goal on there to sort of pay for the publishing costs for the Seraphim Trilogy, because I'm going to try to do them, I'm not going to do them all at the same time. I'm only going to do like 1, 2, and 3, but I'm going to try to get them done before the end of this year. But yeah. I sort of have a deadline for myself, and it's like, but yeah. If you want to keep up with my life in general, especially with my trip to Atlanta later this week, please go down to all of my socials below and just follow me on all my socials. I've got I have an author profile on Facebook. I have a profile on Twitter, or X.com, because Elon Musk is a freaking psychopath. Instagram, and I also have TikTok. I will also be doing TikTok videos for this this trip, because I am going to see Arrows in Action in Atlanta on Thursday, and on Wednesday I am actually making the drive over there, and I am going to be seeing my artist friend, my fellow writer friend, Ellie Rain, and I'm so excited to see her again. It's been so long, and I'm intrigued to see her again. This is going to be a very fun trip for me. But all of that aside, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being so interested and so invested in my stories and everything. And I hope to expand Lions Publishing, your local purveyor of otherworldly fantasy fiction. I hope to expand it more, especially with my books and everything, because I'm not only going to be doing just fantasy. I've got some other stuff that I've got planned. One of them is sort of dystopian. I've got something that's more ethereal, stuff like that. It's not all going to be just it's not all going to be just girl wakes up and she has no idea who she is. That was just Arboriah Lux. But it will certainly be intriguing to see how things are moving forward. This is Kat the Crow Winged Author here at the Magic Library. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later this week for an episode of Crow on the Road, and I hope you guys enjoy. Bye guys!